Good evening everyone and welcome back to FTRL, and we are here with GT Sport action as the drivers tackle the green hell that is the Nordschleife circuit in Germany. It is week 10 of our career mode. We get now to the business end of the championship. The cars getting faster and faster every week. This week we are in the Group 2 Honda NSX, of course the cars that compete in the Japanese Super GT series. And the NSX is possibly the twitchiest of the three, which makes it a very interesting combination with the Nordschleife circuits. As Aaron has just found out there on one of the curbs, this car is very good at changing direction. It's very lively, and of course the circuit with undulations as severe as the Nordschleife, it makes for a very tasty and tricky combo for the drivers to try and get a hold of. So let's see how everybody gets onto that. We've got 12 laps ahead of us in the race, but now we are into qualifying for the second night of racing then, and furthest up the track is Mr. T. Smith, the man who currently leads the championship. And we are anticipating a cracking battle tonight between some of the top drivers. This could go anywhere at all. It basically is going to come down to who makes the least mistakes. The drivers then just on their outlap. Now I have to look at Steph's car because he told me he had a car very similar in colour to ours this week, but something to do with the livery is quite specific to this week, he said. So try and get a good close-up of the car and see what the fuck that. Can't really see it from that side, so I'll have to wait until it gives me difficult to make out, unfortunately. But Green is Hulk. I've been honest, or is it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I can't really tell. Slow down, Steph, so I can see the car. What are you racing? You think this was his flying lap? This is just the outlap qualifying. So running tonight then, we've got T. Smith, we've got Prototype Steph, a slightly better view of it there. We've got Positive Ross, we have got the Junkie Sport in his nice Alpine inspired new colour schemes. We've got Flicks for the Deadpool team. We have got Devil's Nightmare looking a very nice refreshers car he's got there. We've got Houdini's Wi-Fi, the return of Mr. Michael Curran, and he's in a stock livery. Disappointed. Pagani's going to be fuming. We've got Brennan's your daddy and Aaron representing Team Aaron. We've got Lennon for my team Hold My Beer. We've got Darbolt UPS livery there. We've got Rom, we've got Corboy, and we have got Pagani. Of course, the last time we were at the Nordschleife, Pagani put on possibly the greatest drive in FTRL and GT Sport history. Come back from having a couple of spins to somehow claim victory on the very final lap. It was a stunning performance from him, and he'll be looking to repeat that feat tonight. We're looking at a very, very tense battle between him, who was the last man on the road, and the man currently at the front, T. Smith, who's being harassed by Positive Ross on the lap, and Steph. In fact, I don't think we've got a race going on here for who wants to be at the front, because Junkie Sports joined this queue as well. I think T. Smith will be keen to keep some clear track ahead of him. Ross, however, is applying the pressure as they come round. And so while we're going around, we'll have a look at some liveries. And of course, Deadpool have been fairly consistent throughout. However, they have added the Repsol on the side of the car there. Both Repsol and Honda have a long-standing history, primarily in MotoGP. That is complementing the Deadpool livery. And then Ross is running this very nice Hancock livery that as he takes the lead. That FIBA was running last night as well. Very, very nice indeed. Don't know if that's a FIBA design or they've just pitched it from somebody. Lovely looking car. Now Ross has been setting some very impressive lap times in practice. Some of the drivers have been getting down to just under 6 minutes for a lap around here. Ross managed to do a 6 flat earlier, so he is very much in contention this week. See how he gets on, and Steph in this lime green car that's still trying to get a clear view of. Just try to pick out what's on the side of it. Looks like a Hulk. Which, yeah, looking on the bonnet, it looks like he's got a couple of Hulk fists. So, of course, that would tie in with the green helm. And Junkie Sport, of course, who's adopted this new livery for the final 3 weeks. Of course, we've got Le Mans week and Super Formula week to round off this season. He's posted pictures of his cars. As ever, done an absolutely outstanding job. And we've got licks here. He's in the second of the dead ball cars. He's got a slightly orange tint in front of his. Of course, one of our Dutch contingent. He's got the orangey front on his car, and Houdini's who's got the stock livery, which is the Raybring car, of course, which Power Jensen put into the Super GT title not too long ago. The year he took to the track in Japan, won in his first season. I do love this refresher's car that Devil's Nightmare's got. It is very nice. And we've got Brad as daddy in the Team Aaron cars in purple livery. Nice Ryzen. Dark Bottle in his brown UPS. Liveried Honda. And Lennon representing the whole here with the green. Aaron now making some space for himself in his Milk livery. We've got Ron in his infamous pink. Nice job on his gun. Cowboy in matching livery to Lennon. And we've got Pagani in the classic Loctite livery as well. Of course, a very famous livery from Super GT. Then we'll go on board with Ross, and who is the first one to start his flying lap. Let's see how he gets on then as he attacks the nose lap, and I'm not going to pretend I know any of the corner names, so we're just going to go on board and see how Ross gets on then. Pressure is on. Very neat and tidy so far. He brings into the second of these chicanes, big curves there, need to keep away from those. He spat a couple of people off last night, myself included, and now the speed starts to build. Got this high speed winding section over this big crest car, gets very light, top gear through the fast right hander, no lifting. And now you're onto a winding straight section. There's probably only one point on the circuit where you truly get any rest, and that is the Struben, which is the long straight at the end of the lap. Any other part of this course and within a couple of seconds you're in another corner. Through the fast left handers, the car maxing out before down the gearbox, all the way down to third gear. Tucks in nicely for the right hander. Gets on the power so now start dropping down the hill. Speed building again. Winding left and right on the top gear. To 178 miles an hour, 179 for up the crest. Hard on the brakes, over the curve. Big twitch from Ross, but he just about manages to gather it up down to third, down to second gear. Through the S's. Let's curve on the inside nicely. Now gets on the power. Ross is looking very, very aggressive so far. Speed starts to build again. Into sixth gear he does through the fast left-hander, and now down all the way to third gear for the left-hander. Short sprint now, go up to fourth. Drop down the hill, back down to third gear. To the second, and took it into the right-hander, but quick short shift back up to third. And again the speed starts to build through the left and right to get over to the left-hand side. We've got a long right-hander coming up. Keeps in fifth gears. Full commitment from Ross. This is a very good lap so far, and then heavy braking. The downhill chicane, all the way down to second gear. The car doesn't really like first gear, so you can avoid going into it as best. And the sprint down the hill, get over the bridge. To the left hand, to Poland corner, which is this right hander here. Polish flag on the left there. That's the one corner we're doing in because Aaron loves it. Speed now starts to build. Again, a short straight through the left hand kink. And then heavy braking down to third gear. Took in for this tricky right hander. Look how bumpy it is through there. And now we've got a fast flowing section again though. It's just twisting and winding. There's no real respite for the drivers. The speed building all the time though. See the left hand kink. Short straight here. Before again starting into the corners. Through the beautiful forest here. And this is a very tricky, still high speed left-hander. Just keeping it pinned to the floor. Through the quick right-hander, big curve on the inside, need to stay away from. Then heavy braking. We'll go down all the way to probably second gear here. Yep. Lost very well so far, very tight up now. Up to the first upper carousels. Get down early and make sure you stay in the carousel, otherwise you'll lose a lot of time and speed. Very nice from Ross there. This is looking like a very handy lap so far. Speed now builds. Fast lap of the car twitching all over the place over the bumps. Down the fourth gear. Attacks the first part. Down to third for the right-hander. Again, speed now Now starts to build, probably get up to 5th gear. Next section. Left and right. Left and right again. Over the crest. The curve there, just about kept it on the track. Just a long left-hander. Quickly into the right-hander, drops down away. Use the curve on the outside up the short hill. Again, tricky right-hander. Big drop from the outside there, a little bit of run-off you can use. To 4th gear and then back down to 3rd for the left-hander. Narrows and exit as it cuts in. Ride the curb. Speed starts to build again. Now we're going here to a very big drop just before the braking zone. Down the drop on the brakes, down to 4th gear. Clips the curve on the inside there. Ross continues on his way. This has been a very impressive lap so far. Speed starts to build again. Then fast winding section, car constantly on the move. Getting to about 174 miles an hour down the gearbox to 5th. And down a couple more gears to 3rd for the left-hander. Ride the curve on the inside. And on the outside, 2nd of the carousels coming up. Not so such a big one this. Very tricky though still. Car getting a little bit squirrely as he gets on the power, but Ross has done brilliantly so far. And now this long right-hander leads onto De Struben, the long back straight. Finally a little bit of rest right for the drivers after 5 minutes of battling this car. We get about 20 or 30 seconds of respite down the straight then. Even further behind, so there's laps. Been ruined by moments. Speed pulls now, the car maxing out at 180. They come over the top of the crest, now start dropping down the hill again. 183, 184, 185, and now we've got to look for a braking point. Off the throttle down to 4th, then a couple more gears down to 2nd for the final couple of corners. There's the pit entrance on the right. 1 corner to go. Turn right here, go straight on there to the Nürburgring circuit, and Ross crosses the line in a 6 minutes 1.5. Very impressive lap from Ross. Behind him, Steph comes across the line in 1:03.4. Jump Sport is next across the line. Oh, he's a little bit wide at the final corner. He's going to do a 6.9 T Smith. He's going to do 5.59 from T Smith. He goes fastest of all. T Smith breaks the magical 6-minute mark. Here comes Flicks out of the final corner. This does look like a very impressive lap as well. Is Flicks going to do it? It's 5.58 from Flicks to take provisional pole. What a lap from Flicks. So the Deadpool guy is currently 1 and 2. Oh, Dartboss clipped the grass into the final couple of corners. He's gone off. Back on the track. Oh, God, getting very squirrely. He's had another moment coming out the final corner. Here comes British Daddy through to overtake him. Gets the grass on the exit, but he goes up to P5 with a 6.05. Dartboll's going to cross the line, having had some big dramas at the end of his lap. 6 minutes 20 for him. I think I'm disappointed with that. And then going around the final corner now. He's going to do a 6.28 for him. Some dramas on his lap. Here comes Aaron out the final corner. It's going to be just over 6 minutes for Aaron, but a very tiny lap. 6.012, just behind T Smith. Houdini's Wi-Fi is crawling across. This is a returning Michael Curran. He's deciding to just crawl across the line. I think he wants to start at the back. Here comes Rob. He does a 6.035. He goes 6th. Now we wait for Pagani. Pagani, this is the week he's probably been looking forward to the most out of everything this season. How is he going to get on? One in the background there. Devil's Nightmare's in the pits, so he's chosen not to set a lap time. How is Pagani going to get on then? Can he beat that lap set by Flicks of a 58.3? Up to the final corner. Oh, full commit from Pagani. Oh, he's done it by 35 thousandths of a second. Pagani takes pole. Comes Corbay out the final corner. Oh, big twitch as he gets on the power. And sets a 6.38. Good effort from Joey. He will start P13, but what a lap from Pagani, who snatches provisional pole. Look at the top three covered by 1.4 seconds. And Pagani and Flicks after nearly 6 minutes. of racing over 130 corners, and they're separated by 35 thousandths of a second. That promises, well, this is now promising to be a very, very close race at the front. Aaron, who starts 4th, 6:01.2. I think he'll be very happy with that lap time. He's very much in contention here. Positive Ross, just 3/10 behind him as well, at 6:01.5. Great lap from Ross. We were on board with for a good chunk of that. Steph in P6, good lap from him, 6:03.4. He starts ahead of Rom, who's down in P7. I think Rom will be a little bit disappointed with that. Only 1.5 tenths off though, so you can see how very close the field are. You've got Brady Daddy, who starts P8. Junkie Sport behind him in P9. Bolt, who had some issues there at the end of his lap. He'll be looking to go better in the race. He heads Lennon with Houdini's Wi-Fi, Callboy, and Devil's Nightmare rounding off our grid this evening. So, with Devils in the pits there, I think we're waiting for the timer to run down and give the drivers a little bit of breather before the race. It's probably going to be over an hour on this track, 12 laps ahead of us. In the chat now, so welcome, we've got unsafe. Good evening, unsafe. He says the guy loves this track more than his testicles, and he's putting money on him for the win. SPY's gone for Dartbolt. He's complaining so much, I bet he's going to nail it now. Well, no. No, he hasn't. Zomlar the 33rd. Evening Zom. Evening Fever. Evening Mikey. Evening City Posh. All in the chat. Bolt's asking City Posh what the strat is. 2-stop Bolt. 2-stop. Or 3. Depending on how you shred your tyres. Excuse me. Just choking on my own bodily fluids. So City Posh in with Pagani, Tom Flicks for the top 3. It's going to be difficult to look past Pagani and T. Smith. We shall see though. Here we go then on the grid. Let's have a look at what tyres everybody's running on. So Pagani, we'll watch the start. Got 5 lights and away we go. Oh, it's a tardy start. This car's not the best off the line. Flicks has had a very slow getaway. T. Smith attacking into turn 1. Get around turn 1 okay. Doing D. Devils has already got ahead of Callboy. So good stuff from Devils. Well, he's had a big twitch though. The run down and Pagani is off and running. There's his car's looking so twitchy already. Nice little pack forming here. Pagani trying to make a break. He's already got a 9/10 of a second lead. Another Flicks. Now Seth Gavard trying to close him down. T. Smith in tow. Those 3 have made a little bit of a break from Aaron, who's in 4th. Oh, Ross, Steph, Rom and Bread. So this nice little train here on the opening lap. The back guy, we've got Junkie Sport and Dartball side by side with Lennon trying to buy in as well. They go for this fast right-hander. Oh, Lennon's gone wide as he's on the grass. He's saved it though. The big moment, that's going to give Houdini's Wi-Fi a run. Michael's going to go around the outside with the momentum and up into P11 he goes. Already the front 3 are off and running. Pagani leads. Flicks is now within slipstream range. Oh, Pagani with a curb. Got myself and Pagani had a bit of a moment there the last time we were here, as I had my own accident, and then Pagani collected me on the way back on. Fortunately, no dramas on lap 1 at least. However, now he's got Flicks all over the back of him. Last night Jono was off and running on his own on lap 1 as the pack behind him squabbled or fell off the track. Pagani now has got Flicks working him hard. That's not what you want around here. It's very difficult to overtake through a large part of this lap. It's a long, long lap. There's very few realistic overtaking opportunities, so you're looking to force a mistake. And there's plenty. I expect plenty of those tonight. Oh, Flicks has made one already. He's on the grass. He's gathering it up though. Having a twitch still. That's going to let T Smith run to his rear bumper. Giving the guys a little bit of breathing room. So they come over the bridge and head towards pole and corner. So those are these short straights. Give the driver a little bit of a break. Aaron's still in P4, making a little bit of a gap now to Ross is in 5th, Steph 6th, Rom is 7th, Brady Daddy is 8th, that pack's still together. Darrell Bolt now trying to bridge that gap in P9. He's got Junkie Spot behind him in 10th, Houdini's Wi-Fi in 11th, and Lennon in 12th, Devil's Nightmare 13th, and Callboy just behind him in 14th. But your front three still together. Flicks is coming back at Pagani now, he's recomposed himself after that little moment. Trying to find a way through on the braking perhaps here, and Pagani shuts the door. He'll have to wait. So this could be a very, very interesting battle. And so your front three all on the soft tyre. We're expecting two different strategies to realistically play out here: a 2-stop or a 3-stop. So 12 laps you can do 4-lap stints, 3 4-lap stints, you'd imagine 2 stints on the soft tyres, 1 stint on the mediums. Both tyres have to be run in the race. The 3-stopper would be, well, technically 4 3-lap stints, where you could run 9 laps on the soft and 3 on the mediums. Pit stop loss time is quite significant now. The game has updated that recently, so don't want to be making too many pit stops, you will lose too much time. People in the chat there saying these three are going to make it exciting for all 12 laps. We shall see. A long way to go, but so far T Smith just sitting off the back a little bit now, letting Flicks do the attacking, trying to force a mistake. He'll be there to pick up the pieces. Going ready to be Aaron in a very solid P4. Ross not too far behind him. A little bit of a gap now for me to Steph, who's got Rom working him in the same way that Flicks is working Pagani. Brady's Daddy also very much in touch. A little bit gap back to Dark Bolt. We've got Junkie Spot P10, Houdini's Wi-Fi in 11th, Lennon 12th, Devil's Nightmare 13th, Callboy 14th. Used to it then here, they're back with the leaders. Flicks still working over Pagani, and then they're heading towards the Struben, which will be the first probably opportunity that Flicks will have to go past. Will T Smith follow them? We saw this last week, the 2 dead ball cars. It was Jono and T Smith at the Oval at Blue Moon worked together against Rom in a 2-on-1 situation. This week it's Pagani who's 2-on-1 against T Smith and Flicks. And here we go. It's time for a slipstream battle. T Smith into the slipstream of Flicks. Flicks will be picking up Pagani's slipstream as well though. Pagani at 178 miles an hour, Flicks at 184. You can see them closing. T Smith just going to pushing them along here. Are they just going to push past Pagani? So they're closing. But Pagani's still in ahead. So they get to the bridge, to the inside goes Flicks. Tom's going to follow him through. Through goes Flicks into the lead. Pagani down to the 3 wide. Pagani's on the grass at 180 miles an hour. And Flicks hits the lead. Oh, big moment under braking from Flicks. Can he get it stopped? He can. And he now hits the front. Oh, drama there. And that is just lap 1 in the books. So 6:05 from Flicks, 6:06 from T Smith, 6:06 from Pagani. Aaron still P4, just 3.5 seconds back. Still very much in touch. Ross trailing him by 1.5 seconds as well. And Rom is now up to P6, and Brady Daddy's P7. So Steph has had some drama somewhere. He's now battling with Dark Bolt. Oh, what's happened at the front? Flicks is down to 3rd. So a mistake somewhere from Flicks. And after doing all that work to get to the lead of the race, he's been dispossessed, and now T Smith takes over at the front. And Pagani will not want to be letting him get away. So this is the battle that we were expecting to see. Flicks, however, very much intending to make it a 3-way scrap. Over the crest they go, 185 miles an hour. hard on the brakes all the way down second gear. Short shift to third. Down the hill, Pagani. T-Smith, oh, again on the grass, Pagani has a twitch. There's no real point around the circuit where we can go down the order, because at any point on this circuit anything can happen. T-Smith there getting a little bit squirrely. He knows with Pagani and his wheel tracks he's going to have to work hard on this. Flix has regrouped and is starting to come back at this as well, so Flix is very much in this battle. T-Smith then is your leader, Pagani is second and Flix is third. That gap is now 3.9 seconds to back to Aaron. He's still very much in touch and he's still got Ross right on his wheel tracks. Still got a little bit of a gap now. Rom is starting to bridge that gap though, got a bit of clear track now. And he's starting to try and close up. Brady's Daddy on the grass there, Brett getting twitchy. He's got Steph who's dropped a couple of places. He's now regrouped and he's now coming back at Bread and he's bringing Dark Bolt with him. He's going to deliver Dark Bolt. Oh, Junkie Sports having a moment right in front of Michael. Just as we come back there. So just a little twitch on the grass. And it's that easy to make a mistake. However, not too much damage done, not too much time lost. And you can set about chasing down Michael C. Lennon in P12. Look at them back to the three green cars, running 12th, 13th and 14th. The Devil's Nightmare in this beautiful Refreshers livery. And 13th, and Corway. Good to see him on track. It's a very difficult track to learn, this one, but he continues on his way then. So T-Smith just starting to eke that lead up above a second now. Full commitment then. All three drivers. So just 2.2 seconds could be your top three. So we approach the carousel for the second time, or the first carousel for the second time. So here, drop in. Just got to guide it round. Less than half throttle around most of it there. It's very tricky. You've got to stay in there. If you drop out the carousel, you lose a lot of time. The front three on their way. Aaron continues to hold off Ross. Ross is just closing a little bit and Rom closing as well, so we're going to have two battles of three. Got 1, 2 and 3 together, and we've got 4, 5 and 6 together as well. And now we've got 7, 8 and 9 together as well, so Steph has jumped back ahead of British Daddy. And Dark Bolt sat on the back of these three. Well, very much in touch. Steph is feeling quietly confident about this week, so it's good to see him going well so far. 5 seconds behind Rom, but it's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Any big serious off and that gap will disappear. We've still got a very long way to go. Michael C on the grass, twitching. He's going to go. Junkie Sport behind him doing the same. Go back to the lead then. He's just continue to edge that gap up. He's currently 8 seconds up. This is possibly a 5:58 lap from T-Smith in the race as well on lap 2. Come then on to the Struben for the second time. Now everybody's just spread out enough, there's no real risk of being slipstreamed at this stage, so the gaps should hold. So the top three there, all line astern. Ross continuing to just chip away Aaron's lead. He's in slipstream range, so Ross now could be in position here to take P4 as he's closing. Look at the speed difference. Aaron at 180, Ross at 187. Is he going to make him go around the long way if he wants it? Does Ross pop out, or does he just push Aaron along? He's probably just going to wait now. Sitting behind him. Come to the final section. Go down from 108 miles an hour down all the way to 65 miles an hour. Wow, that's a huge drift out the penultimate corner. Did he get that gathered up? He did. T. Smith has just done a 5:57.4 in the race. That's quicker than the qualifying pole position. T. Smith is off and running. Pagani behind him. 58.1. It's a 6-minute flat. All very, very quick laps. The fastest lap last night was Jono's 6-minute flat, so all three of those guys already on the last night's fastest lap. Still a long way to go. We're only on lap 3. Smith continues to lead. Pagani continues to give chase. So it's now just dropping away a little bit, but still very much in contention for this one. Aaron holding on to P4. Ross is right with him now, though, and starting to apply the pressure. It's good to see Ross right at the sharp end. And Rom just behind him, trying to get on terms. He's very much in this battle as well. And he's going to be working hard to keep these two behind him. Further back step in P7. Bread's still in touch. Dartbolt still there as well. Those three just spread out a little bit though. Brady Daddy's picked up a half-second penalty somewhere along the lap as they drop down the hill. And we've got Michael C in P10. We've got 12 seconds to Junkie Sports. So Junkie Sports had some dramas on that lap. Lennon, who has been struggling to get the grips with the track a little bit, get the consistency. But still circulating, he'll be learning all the time. So next time we come here, he should know the track like the back of his hand. Devil's Nightmare P13, only 3 seconds behind Lennon, so he's keeping him honest. It's good to see from Devils. And Callboy still on his way. Again, all very new to Joey. It's good to see him. Oh, big twitch there. Sliding the car. So the top 3 now just starting to spread out a little bit. T. Smith's lead is 1.9 seconds. Though still very much in touch. Flicks now 2.3 seconds off the back of Pagani. So just starting to fall away a little bit. But by no means is he out of this. 3 covered by 4 seconds on the 3rd lap. Still very, very good pace from all 3 of them. Let's go into this battle between Aaron, Ross and Rom. Rom's now on the back of Ross, so Rom is very much in this battle now and has got a little bit of breathing room. Ross is in the slipstream, so these 3 are going to be closed up by the end of this fast winding section. Oh, Ross with a little bit wide there. Rom thought maybe about a look. It's very difficult to overtake through this part of the lap. Again, you're probably just going to sit behind, try and force a mistake. And the driver ahead. This is a little bit wide through that corner again. Mom's looking left and right. And hard on the brakes. Well, the right hand arrow's a little bit wide there, but gathers it up the camber, brings him back in. Ross is closed up again, so these 3 very much battle here behind them. Steph's got a bit of breathing room in P7 again, regrouped after that little off earlier. Brady's Daddy going very well in P8. Still got Dartbolt for company though. These 3 going well, and we've got Houdini's Wi-Fi. Good to see him back in FTRL. A bit of a break. He does love the faster cars. So he rounds the carousel. No, it has a moment. A little bit too eager with the throttle. And the carousel spits him out. However, he is on his way with not too much time lost. Junkie Sport P11. Oh, E2's had a moment through the carousel. Following Michael's wheel tracks. A little bit too eager on the loud pedal. Lennon and P12 still being chased by Devil's Nightmare. Devil's still in touch here. Callboy still going around. It's good track knowledge, learning for Joey. Now, Pagani has had a moment somewhere because that lead is now 4 seconds to T. Smith and he has got flicks right on him again. So the battle for P2 is on. There's been a change meanwhile for P5 as well. Rob up to P5. He has jumped ahead of Positive Ross. Ross has had a little moment somewhere. Just drops the grass there. Tyre wear now starting to factor in, so all your top 6 on the soft tyres. Pagani's managed to just open that lead up as they come onto the Struben. So he's not under risk of being slipstreamed past. Well, that gap to T. Smith has opened up now. You can see that Steph now is starting to close on this battle ahead of him. He's now closed in quite considerably on Ross, and there's Brett and there's Dartbolt, so these three are chasing the guys in 7th, 8th and 9th, closing on the pack 4th, 5th and 6th. So could we have a bit of 6-car train? Just future Aaron Rom through there as Ross. Steph speed 183 miles an hour. What does it look like from the ground? Great camera angle there. The car's speed past. T. Smith a second lap under 6 minutes. 2 sub 6 minute laps in a row. The 5:58.6 that time around. I did a 6:01. There's a little mistake from him somewhere, a little moment. Oh, and another one. Big twitch for Pagani. He's on the grass. He's sideways. He's on the grass again. He saves it. But Flicks happily accepts P2 back. And it's a dead ball 1-2 again. Fantastic car control for Pagani. But again, just caught the grass. And these cars, this Honda NSX is very lively. It was just enough to send him sideways. He saved it, thankfully. So his race is not completely over, but now he's got it all to do again. Try and catch and pass Flicks. Like dirty tyres there, just a little bit Larry. Further back, and Aaron has the one man he does not want behind him. And there's Rom Elson. Rom now is the one applying the pressure. However, Ross has regrouped and is coming back at him. Steph has just dropped away a little bit. So Steph's had a moment somewhere because now Brett's back on him. So Steph's had a little drama somewhere. And now Brett, his daddy's back on his case, and Dartbolt still lurking. Houdini's nightmare. 49 seconds. You can see how quickly the gaps open up with mistakes around here. The gap to Dartbolt is nearly 50 seconds. Junkie Sport. 15 seconds back, and Lennon is closing in on Junkie Sport. So Junkie Sport's had some dramas. Lennon sideways. Looks like the first to make a pit stop. He gets off those medium tyres that he started on. He's now out on the softs, so it looks like he is doing the 3-stopper. Pagani regret them. So everybody else you would imagine now they'll have to pit this lap because they won't have fuel to do another lap. So it looks as if everybody is doing the 2-stopper, or everybody else is doing the 2-stopper. T. Smith leads 4.4 seconds over his teammates. Yes, Peteman has said there. Please do like the stream if you haven't already. Muchas gracias. In the chat there, of course, last night's winner, Team Dead Bull for the win. One mistake could change everything, very much so. People say T. Smith is a complete machine. He definitely is. Almost unflappable. It's very rare to see a mistake from T. Smith. He's not made one so far. Flicks, he's made one little mistake that we didn't see, but he has recovered P2, capitalising on Pagani's mistake. He's not running away with this. Seen there in the distance going through the carousel. T. Smith saw make a mistake at Bathurst a couple of weeks ago that handed Jono the victory. So he does have a mistake in his locker. The rare collector's items. And Jono is now the proud owner of one. Pagani 6.8 seconds off the lead. Not out of this by any means. Here's Aaron. How's he going in the battle for P4? So that gap up again a little bit to Rom. And Ross is now back on Rom's tail. So this gap's just ebbing and flowing. Steph is holding that gap about 6 seconds now, so he's actually taken a second out of Ross. But he has now put a bit of time into Dark Bolt, who's now P8. So Brendan Daddy's had a mistake somewhere, lost the position. We've got Houdini's Wi-Fi in a bit of no man's land. Very lonely race for him at the moment. Junkie Sport did have Lennon right on his case. The gap's opened up a little bit. Nightmare now out on the soft tyres. So those will be very refreshing after doing that medium tyre stint. And Corboy, he's pitted for the medium, so he's gone on to the 3-stopper. Getting his medium stint out of the way. T. Smith still leading. Gap is 4.3 seconds, so Flick's holding that gap, matching his teammate. I'll be pitting in this time into the second of the carousels. A little bit early there, T. Smith, but not too much time lost. Garney getting the back end drifting at the carousel. And here we go then, there's your top 2, there's your top 3, all in shot. Behind them, this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th still raging on. These 3, only a couple of seconds apart. Aaron just out of the G Major of Rom at the moment. He actually had a better run there onto the Struben. Rom is not going to be getting slipstream. Ross is just outside slipstream, but he is closing on Rom. So nearly picking up the slipstream. Still closing. He might not get it by the end of the straight though. It's only taking thousandths of a second out of them. That's into the pits, then come your race leaders. T. Smith in, Flicks in, Pagani in. Look at how much more fuel T. Smith has, 7 litres compared to Flick's 2, Pagani's 3. Comes this battle into the pits. Steph now a bit of a lonely run at the moment. Aaron with just 1 litre of fuel. Ron had 5. Ross has 6. Everybody peels off into the pits. Oh, looks like Houdini's Wi-Fi's had a moment somewhere out the carousel. Just caught the end of that. T. Smith then onto the medium tyre. Flicks out. Flicks has done a second stint on the soft, so Flicks is going to finish on the medium tyre there. So these two have split their strategies. Now, you would expect to see Flicks then close in on T. Smith in this stint. He's got a significantly quicker tyre. T. Smith tyre will be more durable. The softs can do 4 laps quite comfortably. So let's see how we get on. And Pagani has come out on the mediums as well, so he's matched T. Smith. So those two will be finishing on the soft. Flicks in the middle will be finishing on the mediums. Behind, and Aaron has got Rom right on his rear wing now. They're both on the mediums, as is Ross. And Ross has lost a little bit of time, in fact, there. So he's had a bit of a drama on the way out of the pits. Now Steph is only 4 seconds back again, so Steph is starting to reel in again. Rom continues to work over the back of Aaron. Aaron so far has held firm. Great driving from these two. Ross just behind them, not out of touch though. He's kind of equidistant behind Rom and ahead of Steph. So I'll be giving Steph the motivation he needs to be seeing that orange car ahead of him. Trying to close in. A bit of time to brace your daddy then. Oh, he's got the grass, he's sideways. He's on the grass. He's having a spin. Oh, sideways backwards. Gets it pointing the right way. Oh, gets reset the track. Through goes British Daddy. So Brett back up to P8. Dartbot now needs to be careful of a couple of corners because he's going to have very grassy tyres. This car's twitchy at the best of times, even with clean tyres, so the last thing you want is grassy tyres because you can have several more accidents. All those tyres are cleared. And I think That was the end of Dartbolt. It was indeed. So unfortunately Dartbolt is finished for the evening. Meanwhile, Flicks continues to close on his teammate. That gap now just 3 seconds, so he is starting to use those soft tyres to reel in his teammate. Now can he catch and pass his teammate and then pull away, because in the final stint he will be suffering the pain that T. Smith sorted is at this stage of the race. Only dropping away a little bit, but again he's on the medium tyres as well, so Flicks should pull away. And Rom are nose to tail. They come through the winding section. Unfortunately can't go on board in the race, which is really annoying. Ross you see there in the background, closing that gap down a little bit now, under 3 seconds. Steph's still 4.5 back as well, so he's not out of this. Got a yellow flag waving there, that might have been Lennon having a moment. Smith still leads, but Flicks continues to close. That gap now just 2.3 seconds. Flicks just chipping away at the lead of T. Smith. Well, he has that tyre advantage. And just dropping away a little bit, but he's on the medium compound. So really he needs to be watching his gap to T. Smith, which is just creeping up as well. Aaron's gap to Rom has significantly opened up, and now Rom's under pressure from Ross, so Rom has made a mistake somewhere. Falling back to the clutches of Ross, and also Steph has had a drama as well, because he was 4.5 seconds behind Ross, he's now 7, so he's had a little off somewhere. Run wide, just cost himself a couple of seconds. And we've got a yellow flag, and Rom is off. And he's facing the wrong way as well, gets corrected up, but Steph's going to go through. So Rom has had the first major spin of the front guys, and that's dropped him down to P7, and now he's under attack from Bread, so a mistake from Rom. He's just caught the grass, spun him round, he's got dirty tyres as well, the car just struggling for a couple of corners while he gets those tyres cleaned up. It's very easy at this stage to make another mistake, so he's just got to be careful for a couple of corners, get the tyres clean, get it back up to speed. Bread looking to pounce. Bread's also on the soft tyre again, so he'll be looking to close down on Rom, see if he can take away P7. That's going to relieve the pressure on Aaron a little bit, though Ross is now 27.7 seconds back. Oh, Aaron's there made a mistake coming out of the second carousel. Oh, Ross has made the same mistake in the background. So both of them come out of the carousel, and the gap stays about the same. In fact, Aaron gates a couple of tenths after spot that little error. And we have a change for the race lead. So Flicks has caught and passed T. Smith, and he now leads the race. Now, what can he do while he has the better tyre? He now needs to start pulling away, because T. Smith will be coming back at him in the final stint. T. Smith getting a little bit squirrely out of turn 1. Looks over the 5:57.9, second fastest lap of the race. Just half a tenth or half a second off the fastest lap overall. So Flicks is motoring on. That's why he's caught T. Smith, and now look at him starting to pull away. Of course, he's on the better tyre. Expect T. Smith to come back at him in the final stint when he's back on the softs and Flicks is running the mediums. Garney P3. 7.8 seconds off the back of T. Smith. He's had another twitch there. That corner just unsettles the back of the NSX. And holding that gap to Ross. Steph also keeping Rom at arm's length. He'll be very happy with that P6 so far. Through the S's they go. Rom trying to recover some of that ground that he's lost. Brej's daddy also not too far away. So you can see how quickly one mistake can cost you a couple of places. Use Wi-Fi in no man's land. He's just 20 seconds off the back of Bread though, so he's got his foot down again. Starting to close that gap ahead of him. Junkie Sport's not a million miles away either. then with a 4-tyre drift as he comes on to De Struben. Devil's Nightmare 10 seconds behind, so he's keeping Lennon honest. A good run from Devils. Just gets the glass as he comes onto the straight. Joey's still going wide, he's up on his best time. Good to see. Here are your top two as they flash through. T. Smith lead over Pagani now 8.3 seconds. Flick's now 2.6 up the road. And goes fastest of all through that sector of the lap. Only a 10th up then, so Flicks is still pushing hard. Lead is now 3 seconds. He needs to build as much as he can do, because T. Smith will be coming back at him in that final stint. Ross is just starting to chip away Aaron's lead again. Steph meanwhile holding on to P6. Rom's not really catching him at this stage. Bread still very much in contention as well. P8. Far, far from over. I mean, this circuit does give us some beautiful camera angles like that one there. They're going over the crest. Battle for 4th and 5th. Beautiful long shots. Steph there in the background in P6. One behind in P7. Bread there in P8. It's nice to see 70 cars still so close together as well. We're now on lap 6, so once they complete this lap, that's half the race done. Still the podium still very wide open. Top 6 still very wide open as well. Lead is now 3.4 seconds for Flicks over T. Smith. Cheers, Mikey. I intend to have a drink or 4 after this one. I bought 2 bottles of rum at the weekend, 2 bottles of Old J, so I've got the banana lime and the cherry one. Take my pick later on. The City Push thing's great to see. Joe and Dale was carrying on, very much so. I think it was great that we had everybody who started last night's race finish the race, even those who were a lap down. It's a shame that Darbolt retired. I know he's not a huge fan of this circuit. Unsafe says he reckons Flicks needs a 10-second gap to make this work. Well, he's at 4.2 at the moment, and he's 3 seconds up on his best split according to that, so he is still pushing on. Got another 2 laps before his pit stop, so he needs to make hay while the sun shines. He's doing everything he can. Only holding that gap to T. Swift now, holding about 8.7 seconds. Ross is just closing in on Aaron. That gap is coming down now, it's under a second, so Ross is having a really good run here. And these cars have got so much area, they are absolutely beautiful to handle through these corners, but the semi-stage is so twitchy, it can literally send you off at a moment's notice. Look how much Ross has closed in there. That gap now half a second. Can they get around the carousel this time? They both went off last time around. Ross has gone a little bit wide. Oh, Aaron's off on the inside. And Ross sweeps around the outside and up into P4. So a little mistake from Aaron. And Ross capitalises. Now Ross has a big twitch. But they're coming on to De Struben. And Aaron is right behind Ross, so he'll get the slipstream. It's an expected overtake. Aaron will be back in P4 in a second. Will Ross have time to come back at him if he does? Or will Aaron just push him down the straight? We'll have to find out. There's Steph in the background as well. Steph continues to close. He's 4.9 off the back of Aaron. In Ross's slipstream. Does he want the clear air and the clear track? Or is he having to follow and try and save a bit of fuel? He's not going to go past him now. So, or is he? Pops to the outside. No, he's going to drop back in again. So Ross then up to P4. Capitalises on a little low from Aaron. That carousel is also tricky. You have to try and hook yourself in, but again, if you get the angle wrong, this car's so lively, it just spits you off. Now Steph is now lurking in the background as well. That flash of green will just start catching the eye of Aaron and Ross in the mirrors. As the pressure starts to build from behind again. Rom has got back ahead of Brett, so he's back up with the P7. Oh, Brett just clipped the grass there at the high speed. In a straight line though. Rom's not really recovered much as Houdini's Wi-Fi is in. So he's now changed to the 3-stop by the look of it. And Junkie Sport has followed him in fact, so those two both changing to the 3-stop strategy. Lennon keeps on going. He's just started to put a bit of time back into Devil's Nightmare. Devil's still going really strongly, it's good to see. This car and track combination very daunting. One of our newest members of FTRL GT Sport. It's good to see him still going. From where he was in week 1 at the karting, well, he still had the driving assists on, or the turning assist on. A very long way. Oh, I'm out for Corboy there. We'll just go away from that. Pretend we didn't see that. Sorry, Jerry. Flicks then has got a 5.3 second lead over T Smith. He took the fastest lap, a 5:57.357, which observed T Smith's 5:57.438, so a tenth up on the fastest lap. So he tries to build that lead on safe. He reckons he needs 10 seconds, so he's halfway there, and he's got 1.5 laps to get to the magic number before T Smith starts to come back at him. Garney in P3, 9.6 seconds, that gap to T Smith just inching up, but T Smith's not taking chunks out of him. And still anything can happen. We've still got over a third of this race to go. Ross has now pulled a bit of a gap on Aaron. It's difficult to follow around here. NSX twitching again. Steph gets ever closer as well, so this battle of 3 is about to come back together. This time it's Steph though, replacing Rom. Still hasn't quite recovered. Oh, big twitch through pole and corner. Brady's Daddy, despite his whatever moment he had that let Ron back through, still in touch. It's not out of that battle yet. A mistake for anybody ahead. He will be back with them. Flicks continues on his way. Lead now 5.7 seconds. A lot of curve there. Brave boy. See how the car bounces there as the undulations. See how twitchy these cars are through this part of the lap. To think this used to host Formula 1 back in the 60s or 70s, of course, the scene of the huge crash that nearly killed Niki Lauda. Of course, where his car crashed and he was hit by 2 more cars. His car burst into flames and he was trapped in the car. Of course, we got his horrific burns that he came back from later that season. The year he battled with James Hunt for the 76 F1 crown. Flicks has now got his lead up to 6.4 seconds. T Smith knows obviously that will come back to him in the final stint, where he will be thinking of trying to keep that gap down as much as he can do. It means less work for him to do in that final stint when he's chasing. But Flick's really taking the fight here. Pagani is pushing, you can see that car working hard. On the curbs, attacks the carousel. Having a very strong run as well in P4. Not able to respond. Steph is still there, as is Rom, as is bred, they're all still in touch. Any mistake, and you can lose at least 1 or 2 places depending on who it is. Battle very much on still. He's Wi-Fi, aka Mr. Curran. Going on the P9 on his return. Keeping Junkie Sport at arm's length. P10, Lennon's still going, did his personal fastest lap last time around. So getting a little bit more familiar with the course. I'll just help him remember the corners. Devil's Nightmare just dropping away a little bit now. Lennon's got a little bit of consistency in, but still going very well. Oh, Joey's cutting some grass for us. He's just getting out of the way of the leaders perhaps there. We're coming round. Slick's pushing hard, but 5:59. He's done all 3 flying laps on this stint. We've been under 6 minutes. That is excellent pace from Flicks, and he's doing everything he can to take the fight to T. Smith. T. Smith's going to have a lot of work to do. This is now this will be his in lap. We're on lap 8 then, so we are at 2/3 race distance when they come round to the finish line. Can Flicks get another 3 seconds on this lap? T. Smith did a 6:01. Look at T. Smith at 6:03, 6:01, 6:01. He's consistent. He's got a lot of work to do in this final stint. Of course, Flicks will be on the medium tyres for the final stint. T. Smith will be back on the softs. Pagani keeping T. Smith honest. He's taken a couple of tenths out of him. At the moment has nothing. The gap just ebbing and flowing at about 10 seconds now. Needs a mistake really from T. Smith to just bring him back into view. I think if you can see him, it's extra motivation. That'll pull Pagani along. You see he's still pushing hard. Cannot. Oh, unfortunately Devils has left the room. Oh, that's a shame. He was having a fairly solid run as well. He's driving very well, very consistent, but unfortunately Devils has left the room, so we're down to just 12. Green Hell claiming victims. Ross continuing to go very strongly here, putting more and more time into Aaron. Aaron has not been able to respond in this stint. And he has now got Steph closing down on him. So I don't know if maybe Aaron has made a mistake somewhere or Steph has just reeled him in. That gap now is just 1.6 seconds. Talk about to smash Aaron's resolve for P5. We shall find out. Rom still 4.8 seconds back, so he's still in touch as well. He's just chipping away at that gap ahead of him. Bred's just dropped a couple of seconds to the guys ahead, but still running very strongly in P8. It's good to see him going well. His Wi-Fi, Junkie Sport, and Cowboy. Still on their way. Flicks now has a 7.5 second lead, so Smith just managing to peg that gap a little bit. Of course, we're in the fast widening section at the moment, so I wouldn't expect there to be much difference. Of course, Flicks' tyres quite a bit more worn. Obviously, he's still got a bit more grip from the soft tyre. The braking is done, so what can Flicks do then over the next half a lap to try and build that lead up? So the carousel then for the 8th time. See there, just steadily through it. Don't fall out, get your foot down cleanly and on the power. T. Smith just taking a couple of tenths back out of Flicks now, so Flicks' tyres are just past their best. We are now at the very end of the stint. Pagani now 11.4 seconds behind T. Smith. He'll be looking to apply some pressure then in the final stint. See if he can force a mistake. Well, of course, T. Smith's going to have to be chasing down Flicks. Ross going very strong, and Steph has made the move for P5. So he's now ahead of Aaron. But Aaron's still with him, and in the background somewhere is Rom, who's actually lost a little bit of time. So Rom's had a little bit of a moment somewhere. Just dropped a little bit of time. That's lost a couple of seconds to Aaron. He's also lost a couple of seconds to Bread behind him, who's still going very well. Ooh, big twitch from Bread there. Just ran a little bit wide. To the carousel he goes. Of course, he then in the fast winding section. Sport. 13 seconds behind him. Lennon's still on his way. Big drift from Lennon. Oh, another big drift from Lennon. Gathers it up. See Joey still going. Cooking some more grass for us there. It's on to Struve, and then for the 8th time on his in-lap. The gap is 7.7 seconds. He's just creeping up then down the back straight, so maybe looking at about 8 seconds by the time he gets into the pits. There's first, there's second in the very far distance. There's P3. There's Pagani. 12 seconds now the gap. There's Pagani then coming over the crest. Look in the distance, can you see Positive Ross come out the corner? Maybe just. Now here he comes now. Oh, and Rom is now ahead of Aaron as well, so is Aaron having some dramas on this lap. A couple of mistakes have just crept in. Medium tyres deceptive. They've got good durability, but the grip just isn't there. What you have on the softs. So in they come, then Flicks in. He'll go onto the medium tyres, then Pagani and T. Smith in as well. They'll be back onto the soft tyres. This is now the phase where the race will be decided. Final stint of the race for everybody. Flicks is on his way on those medium tyres. That lead is 7 seconds as they come out of the pit exactly to T. Smith, who's back out on the soft. Ross is in the pits now as well. Pagani still fueling up. Away he goes. Oh, he's like, oh, is that Ross running wide? Ron running wide? A little bit there maybe. Down to P7. He'll be looking to come back in his final stint. Brett Daddy, I think Brett's had an off somewhere. He's dropped a bit of time on this lap. To the pit he comes. We'll see his Junkie Sport then. It's coming on to the long back straight. Lennon's getting on there. Grass there. Just taking it easy. Try and keep the mistakes to the minimum. It's all about learning. This track is a very difficult track to learn. Of course, the sheer number of corners. I've been playing this Gran Turismo in various guises since probably about 15. So look at about 20 years playing this game. Of course, the Nordschleife was probably only around about GT4. So that line goes off, although we'll just avoid that. So, a number of laps of this circuit, could roughly drive it off memory. So here we go then, lap 9 of 12, 3 and a bit laps to go. Lead is 6.2 seconds. T. Smith starting to chip away that lead already. He's now got 13.8 seconds over Pagani. Pagani doing this final stint is going to be full send from Pagani. Ross is out in P4 with Steph in 5th. Rom in 6th. Aaron giving chase. And Brett now on fresh tyres as well. And of course he's going one more lap. Adjusted his strategy. After the Junkie Sport comes Lennon, then coming on to Struve. Joey's still on his way as well. Flicks is now suffering the pain of the medium tyres. Steve Smith is chipping away at that lead already. Of course, he had 3 seconds to make up. He probably had the 10 seconds he needed in total, but of course he had to make 3 seconds up in that first lap. So is it a question of when T. Smith catches Flicks, not if?
Unsafe with the fact of the day. The last right-hander before the 2 kilometre straight is called Glagenkopf, translated as Gallows Head, a former place of execution for the Counts of Nuremberg. Gallows where public executions happened. Well, there we go. Let him just cough over that he is drinking. So if he's having some offside, it's white. There's Flicks. There's the left and the right. There's T. Smith, 4.8 seconds back, and chipping away at that lead all the time. There's a bit of a twitch there though. Coming behind, giving chase. Can he do anything about the guys ahead of him? If anybody can up this track, it is this man. Positive Ross going very strongly in P4. However, Steph is just chipping away at that lead. He's holding off Rom. He's P6. So it's a very strong showing from Steph. Car is through those corners there. Quick change of direction. Sticks them lovely to the apexes, especially on these soft tyres. Steph using all the track, but safely as well. So he's not up the limit. Just hoping for a mistake from Ross ahead to bring him back into contention, but Ross has been driving very, very well tonight. One of Ross's best performance of the season. Former GT2 runner-up. There's Flicks as he goes under the bridge. There he is, look in the background. Where is his teammate? There he is. There's the gap. 4.9 seconds. T. Smith has taken 2 seconds out of him on this lap. That will be enough if he can do that every lap. But Flicks has done a very good job there to maintain that gap as best he can. He knows that T. Smith will be closing, but on that final lap, of course, T. Smith's tyres will be particularly second hand. It's not a given. And of course, catching him is one thing, passing him is another. So Flicks can keep him at arm's length for as much of the last lap as he can do. He's in with a shout. T. Smith's still pushing hard. He's not hanging around, taking any liberties. It's not a given that he'll catch Flicks, because Flicks is driving very, very well. Flicks did a 6:02 flat on that lap. T. Smith did a 6-minute flat, so a 2-second difference. Behind over the 6-minute .2. Driving well. Here comes Ross round to complete lap 9. 6:04. Steph behind him. 6:02, so 2 seconds out Ross on that lap. Great lap from Steph. He is pushing hard, and Rom has dropped away as well. Rom's now 11 seconds back. He's a little bit closer, 5.4 seconds back from the Belgian. He held P4 for much of that first stint. Aaron will be kicking himself that he's down in P7. Needs to keep it clean from the end here. See if he can apply some pressure to the guys ahead, force some mistakes, get back on terms. Brady Denny now got a slightly lonely gap there. He's 24 seconds behind Aaron. He's got Houdini's Wi-Fi behind him, but he is due a pit stop. So I imagine he will be in this time. And he is. Comes Junkie Sport as well. He'll be into the pits this time. He is 3.5 seconds back. They're in their final stops. Lennon still going. Testing race for him, but he doesn't know the Nordschleife all that well. And for all the cars you can learn the track in, this is not the ideal one. But good to see him still going. Same with Joey. Great to see Joey still going. Into the final sector there. Nice and aggressive, that's what I want to see. Yeah, he's pushing hard. Just about gets a stop for the final corner. And he comes round to start lap 9. He's a lap down as he comes out just as Houdini's Wi-Fi comes out of the pits. Scary moment there, and lets him go and he's on his way again. Here there's your race leader. The gap now just 2.6 seconds. T Smith is closing all the time. There they are. There's Flicks. There is T Smith. That gap just getting ever closer. T Smith's had an excellent first part of this lap. I don't know if Flicks has made a mistake or T Smith's just closed in. And the gap between the two dead ball cars getting closer and closer. It's only really a matter of time before T Smith can get on terms with Flicks. Question is if and when he can make the move to retake the lead. Flicks is a brilliant effort from him, trying the alternate strategy. Pagani holding that gap for T Smith. Still about 13 seconds, pushing hard, but just can't make any progress in trying to close them down at the moment. Fantastic first stint between these three, nose to tail for all of that first and second lap. Ross has picked himself up a penalty somewhere, but only half a second, and plenty of time to get rid of that. Steph still 6 seconds back. Ron still about just under 11 seconds now behind Steph. Holding that gap to Aaron at about 6. Brad now in a slightly lonely P8. Wi-Fi and Junkie Sport still running. And then coming round to start lap 10. On the grass. That'll be the drink. Joey gets on the grass to get out of the way. Junkie Sport coming round. Back with the leaders then, and the gap is now under a second. Flicks twitching there as he pushes hard. It's the back end lively. You feel that T Smith will probably swoop past onto Struben if he can get in slipstream range. Oh, Flicks is sideways there. He's pushing hard. If he can keep the gap out of slipstream range for the Struben, he might have a chance. Because obviously then there's no real overtaking opportunities without a mistake. He's pushing hard, T Smith pushing hard as well. Can he get that gap down to the slipstream range? It's 0.75, he's in the slipstream now. So you feel that the overtake here might be no more than a formality. Oh, big twitch from Flicks as he caught the curb. And just a couple more tenths off, that makes it even closer. And here we go. Oh, we're going to see a change for the lead between the dead ball cars. T Smith is into the slipstream. Pause to the left. Castle in the background. And T Smith swoops by into the lead of the race. Flicks will drop back into the slipstream though. Can he go for a re-overtake before they get to the end of the straight? And he's going to push his teammate along. But if he wants any opportunity, he needed to be back in front really. I think Flicks knows it may be a fruitless task to try and fend him off. And T Smith then swoops back into the lead as they start the penultimate lap. We just tick over the hour mark. Now you would imagine that T Smith should be able to just ease away from his teammate in the same way that Flicks did in the last stint. Pagani has just started to chip away a little bit of that lead. He's pushing hard. He's just done the fastest lap of the race, a 5:56.8 from Pagani. That was a full 10 lap. T Smith did a 5:57.8, so he took the grand total. Somebody going back. So he took the grand total of a second out of T Smith. So if you can just do 10 more laps like that in the lap and a half we have remaining, that would be good. Ross then coming around to start his penultimate lap, keeping that gap to Steph at 6 seconds, keeping him honest. also keeping that gap. Not the same to Steph, not making any headway. Aaron's just slipped a little bit further back as well, but still not out of this battle yet. Any mistake ahead, he will be there to pounce. Bread coming along, Struben comes over the crest of the hill. Apparently Mike has been doing some graffiti on the track there. T. Smith made any mistakes at all? I don't think so, no. Looking at his lap times, he's been like 57, a 5:57, a 5:58, 6:33 of course was his pit lap, a 6:03, 6:01, 6:01, 6:34 was his pit lap, 6th lap, 5:57. I don't think T. Smith has made a particularly big mistake at any point so far. The man is an absolute machine. That is why he is a 4-time FTRL GT1 champ. As is the man in 3rd place though. Flicks is hanging on in there. It's 2.3 seconds back now, but of course if T. Smith were to make a mistake, he would be there. And Pagani is now really closing that gap now. He's just 9 seconds behind Flicks, so he is charging still. Can't see the dead ball cars, but they're not a million miles away. And he's still pushing hard. We'll see them of course on to Struben. About half a lap away. Not even half a lap away now. Ross continues to hold Steph at arm's length. There is Steph. He in turn is keeping Rom at arm's length. Just done a little bit. Down to under 10 seconds now. The gap to Aaron behind him is over 10 seconds now as well. So Rom easing up behind Steph, easing away from Aaron. There's a little bit sideways there coming out of Poland corner. Bread now in a massive no man's land. He's got 31 seconds in front of him, 31 seconds behind him. The epitome of the lonely race. A very solid P8 on table for him. Using his Wi-Fi. Scotland Junkie Spot 4 company. Only 8 seconds back. Keep him honest. Here comes Lennon then round to start P11. It's going to be Lennon's fastest lap, is it? It is indeed. 6:10. And there's a big twitch to start the next lap. Oh boy. Still going, great to see. He's dropped a couple of seconds somewhere. I think he may have had a little bit of an off somewhere. Maybe run wide. It was 9 seconds to Flicks a minute ago, it's back to 11. So it just eases the pressure on Flicks for that P2. Flicks is still pushing hard, using all the road and then some. NSX twitching. We'll come out then onto the back straight for the penultimate time. The lead is 2.4 seconds. Flicks is not out of this. T. Smith can't afford a mistake, or can't afford a big mistake. Flicks will be back on him. There are your 2 dead ball cars. In the background you can just see a little dot. That's Pagani, there he is at the very far distance. There's the Loctite car. Lawson has lost about 8/10 of a second to Steph. Still got 5 in his pocket though. Steph to Rom is about as you were. And we almost just put more time to Aaron. I think Aaron's just getting a little bit ragged. He tries to close back in again. He's just inching further away from him. Also, Michael C is getting Junkie Sport closing him down. The gap's now just 6.3. Now, Flix has closed that gap by about a second somewhere, so I think T-Smith's had a little bit of a run wide. The first half mistake of T-Smith's race. It's time to ease away again now, through a couple of corners there. So those soft tyres come back into play. Flix is not out of this. He's going to keep T-Smith honest. You can see the tyre wear's quite a lot worse on the lead car. You can see how quickly he's got that time back up again. Still a brilliant drive from Flix. Made a mistake. I still did a 6-minute flat lap from Pagani, so it was definitely not a slow lap, but match Flix on the Flix just did a 6-minute flat on the mediums, which is a very impressive lap. So let's have a look at the time. Let's say T Smith did a 5:59. So it's comparable with the leaders, definitely. So that is Flix. What did T Smith do on his medium tyres? T Smith only did a 6:01 on the mediums there, so that's a very impressive lap from Flix. 6 minutes, 0.9 on the medium tyre. Steph, meanwhile, is continuing to chip away at this lead of Ross. That gap's now to 4.5. The orange car's getting bigger. Holding Rom, whose gap to Aaron is about the same. And Bread, whose gap is about the same as well. And Houdini's Wi-Fi has got Junkie Sport right on his tail then, so these two are going to do battle on the final lap. Of course, former teammates, these two know each other very well. Lennon's still on his way, as is Corboy. Good to see my teammates still persevering. Maybe not their night. One of them's drunk. That one. That one is very drunk. And Corboy, of course, this is his first time in the GR2 cars. First time on this circuit on this game as well. So it's great to see him still going. 2.7 seconds again. He's just eased away again. He still can't afford a mistake. Flix is still there. Pagani now seems to have admitted defeat and is settled for P3. Still a brilliant effort from him. That lap of a 5:56.8 is an absolute flyer. Safe saying aliens. Aliens everywhere. Yes, there definitely are. This is the head alien. Flix has done an absolutely outstanding job again tonight. He's put on some stunning drives in GT2 last season, despite missing a number of rounds. Once he got that Audi hooked up, he was absolutely unstoppable for a phase. He's keeping T Smith very honest on this final lap. Still can't afford a mistake, T Smith. Got to get it to the flag. Just closed in a couple of tenths. Pagani, I think, now is very definitely settled. Just going to bring it home for P3. Ross has kept that gap at 4 seconds. Steph is still very much there. Steph trying to play a little bit of late pressure here. Can he snatch P4 on the final lap? He's got about less than half a lap to do with him. Oh, Rom's had a big drift at the carousel. However, he's got enough of a lead over Aaron that Aaron's not immediately behind him. Aaron's having a slide of his own, drifting around the right-hander just before the carousel. Here's the battle then, Houdini's Wi-Fi versus Junkie Sport. Kind of a check on the battle for the lead. Oh, it's a second. Oh, this isn't over. This is not over. Flick has got a better run. Is Flick's going to send it on the final lap? Can he get in slipstream range? He's closing, but it's not enough. In fact, T. Smith's just started to inch away again. Oh, Flicks is giving it absolutely everything. But I don't think he's going to get within slipstream range. T. Smith moving to try and break the slipstream. He's still just inching up. It's like a thousandth of a second at a time. He's just not got enough of an overspeed onto the straight to bring him close enough. But what an effort from Flicks. He's running on fumes. They're both running on fumes. So they come up to the final couple of corners. Into the braking zone. No mistakes from T. Smith. Flicks is throwing everything at it. But he's not going to get close enough. They're going to be a photo finish for Team Deadpool, but T. Smith wins at the Green Hell. Flicks comes home P2. Pagani then will come home P3, a valiant effort from him. Fastest lap of the race. But just couldn't do enough to hang with the Deadpool guys. He's going to come home in P3. Ross then has managed to fend off the advances of Steph in this final stint on the final couple of laps. Great drive from Steph though, he'd be very happy with that P5. Just going to have a quick look at the battle between Houdini's Wi-Fi and Junkie Sport. Oh, these are coming down the back straight. Houdini's Wi-Fi holding him off. Junkie Sport eager to get one over on his old running buddy before the end if he can. Here then comes Ross to the final couple of corners. Brilliant drive from Ross tonight. I think he'll be very, very happy with his night's work. 2 corners to go. He brings home a very, very solid P4. Great pace from Ross. That's P4 for him. Weaves across the line, he's happy with that one. Steph out the final corner. The Hulk car crosses the line P5. Great effort from Steph. Up to the final corner comes Rom. And that early spin, I think they're only one of the top guys to really have a big drama all race. He comes home with P6. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. That mistake, where might he have been? Aaron, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with P7, having run P4 early on. Still, he has got it to the finish. Solid points. And crosses the line. Oh, he did his way up. Junkie Sport's got him. Oh, there's been contact. Just as we drop back, contact between Junkie Sport and Michael C, I think. Oh, Michael's hit the curb. The car is twitching everywhere. He's on the grass. And Junkie Sport has snatched P9 on the final lap. British Daddy then going to come home in P8. He had a very lonely final stint. Just couldn't quite live with the pace of the guys ahead of him in the end. Just a couple of corners to go, but Bread, I think, will be very happy with his night's work. To the final corner. And he comes across the line for P8. Junkie Sport snatches P9 on the final lap. That's P9 for Junkie Sport. Michael C crosses the line here, being P10. Lennon waited for the leaders to come across the line, so he didn't have to do the final lap. And Callboy's pain is nearly over. Just 4 more seconds to do before the time runs out. And there we have it then. That is race over. And it's a Deadpool 1-2, 7/10 of a second separate your top 2 after 12 laps and over an hour of racing at the Nordschleife. There's a dramatic final lap there. T. Smith gave his teammate a sniff. It wasn't quite enough though, and he claims the victory once again. And it's another 1-2 for Team Deadpool. And that is the end of tonight's action. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that action. We have now got just 2 weeks left of this season of GT Sport. Next week we are at the historic GT races. We are at Le Mans, a 2-hour endurance race in the Group 1 hybrid prototypes. So do join us for that. And of course, what we've got next week on FTRL, no ACC next week. The season finished last week at Bathurst, so we've got a bit of a break now before season 5 kicks off. And we'll be posting details of that in the not too distant future. If you are interested in joining next season of ACC, please do get in touch with us at FTRL_ACC. F1 back on Tuesday and Wednesday. We are at Zandvoort for round 7 of the season. Wins last week for Oxox and for Kieran in Div 2. Dramatic races in both. So how will everybody fare at Zandvoort? And then, as I mentioned, Le Mans next week for GT Sport. But thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't already liked the stream, please do so before you go. It helps us out immensely. And we will see you again real soon for some more exciting FTRL action.